Welcome to another edition of Morning Market Call. I'm your host, Doug Mumford. We are here shooting live at the Investors Professionals Conference in front of the Hinckley Alumni Center. I'm here joined today with Jenifer Johnson, who is the president of Coraticum Asset Management. Jenifer, thank you so much for being with us.
Pleasure to be here.
Jenifer is an alumni, distinguished alumni of the BYU MBA program, and I'm excited to have her tell us a little bit about her path through the MBA program. You were alumni of year 2001.
Mm-hmm.
So Jenifer, my first question is, what was it like coming into the program, and how did you sort of get to the industry that you are in right now?
It actually was kind of interesting. When I started out, I thought, I will do anything here except for investment management. I'll do strategy, I'll do organization behavior, all appealed to me, but the only thing I knew I didn't want to do was investment management. Because I just thought it wasn't going to be consistent with the kind of lifestyle that I was seeking. Part of the reason why I was coming to get an MBA is I wanted to be able to have a lot more control and flexibility with my life than what I would have just with my undergraduate degree.
Mm-hmm. You are also an alumni of the Silver Fund program, which is an asset management club that you can participate in as a MBA student. Mm-hmm. How did that help prepare you for what you've been doing?
So that actually was the turning point for me. I started my involvement in the Silver Fund thinking that this would be more of a life skills rather than a vocation choice. But as I got involved in the Silver Fund, I found that all the kind of curiosity that I'd had for the world that I just couldn't find a place in terms of a career really found its home in investment management, because it allowed me to just continually ask questions about how the world works and how people make money this way, and you follow supplies and money in order to figure out how the world works to make the best investments. So I just loved the Silver Fund. It was fantastic for me and really altered my course from doing corporate finance to investment finance.
Now you're running your own firm. Mm-hmm. Where were you right out of school, and how did you get or make the decision to strike out on your own?
Sure. So I had the unusual experience of being hired as a portfolio manager by Ensign Peak Advisors, primarily because of my involvement in the Silver Fund. And I began my work there right after graduation, and I worked there for about 5 years. When I was at that point of 5 years, I kind of took a look around and thought, I love this place, but unless I want to make this a dedicated career, I've got to leave, because all of my track record and the assets under management at Ensign Peak is confidential, and so that makes it difficult to recruit to other positions. So I thought, well, I've had 5 years of tremendous mentoring and experience here at Ensign Peak. It's time to leave. I had kind of a gut feeling like, it was a good time to leave. To try and transition, I also had this feeling like I should go and study Spanish. And I thought that would be really something that could really increase my skill level. I hadn't had the opportunity to do this in my undergraduate. And so I did that for a while. And during that period of time, I was recruiting for other positions. And in the midst of all of that, it just felt right to start my own fund.
That is fascinating. What are some of the challenges that you've faced starting your own firm?
Well, some of the challenges, of course, are finding capital. It's the number one question people ask me is, where did you get your investors? And fortunately, I had a number of investors that came to me and said, please, if you start your fund, we'd like to fund you. And so that helped me to have some of the courage to start it. But there are other challenges as well. I'd done a lot of the front office, from trading and analytics and portfolio management, but I'd never really done that back office type work, and I needed to assemble that in order to assemble a full company. And so I actually got some really great references being here at the Investment Professional Conference by another attendee who had just started his own firm. I might mention one other challenge, which is that I find it's kind of interesting to be a woman as a portfolio manager. There are not a lot of us. And so people remember me as the woman. Whether or not they remember my name, they might even forget all the other attendees, but they remember me. It can be difficult to be remembered that way, but it also can be a huge advantage to kind of stick out because you're different.
What advice might you have to the women in the MBA program, or women that are considering coming back to BYU for the MBA, given kind of your success and your experience?
Well, I love what I do, and I actually have a great lifestyle, and so part of my advice would be if you like something, you're going to be happier. So don't do something just because you think it's going to give yourself a better lifestyle. I did something that I thought would give me a horrible lifestyle, and it's actually turned out really well for me. And so to be kind of courageous in looking at even difficult things, if you like them, be courageous in that kind of gut feel of what you think you ought to be doing, and don't be afraid to explore.
Jenifer, thank you so much for your insights and for being with us. For Morning Market Call, I'm Doug Mumford. Join us next time.
Morning Market Call is brought to you by the Marriott School of Management in cooperation with the Brigham Young University Department of Communications. MMC is made possible by generous donations from Larry Tasjan and Gary Williams. This show was produced by Jeff Butler, Janessa Cloward, David Wood, and Doug Mumford, with line producing by Beth Grimmett. For more information, please follow us on Twitter and Facebook.